Chapter 834. Wilbur looked at Carl coldly. The flame serpent roared and lunged toward Carl. Carl suddenly retrieved all his powers and asked, "Sir, can we please talk?" Wilbur made a simple wave, causing the flame serpent that lunged downward to howl and soar to the sky. It spun in the air excitedly because it was overjoyed and enjoying its newfound power. "Any last words?" asked Wilbur. Carl was silent for a moment. Then he asked, "Does the Lord of Fire Dragons really exist?" "I think so," replied Wilbur. Wilbur Penta created the god even if the Lord of Fire Dragons did not exist. He felt like he was powerful enough to be the god anyway. Carl said slowly, "I'm willing to join the Sacred Lord of Fire Dragons Church. I want to be a faithful believer." Wilbur was very surprised. He asked, "Oh, what made you change your mind? You can try to continue fighting. Perhaps you might even win." Carl smiled and replied, "I know better. The fire dragon is beyond me, and you're a divine messenger, sir. I don't think I have a chance of winning the battle. You can try to run away. Why did you choose to join us? Is it because you felt the Lord of Fire Dragons calling?" asked Wilbur. Carl frowned slightly and replied slowly, "Sir, to be honest, my student, Keith Sackler, was manipulated. He lost his life, and I was threatened and forced to do something I didn't want to do. Your appearance gave me hope to change. Maybe I can be someone that does something for the people here." "What do you mean? How can someone threaten you when you are a saint-level cultivator?" asked Wilbur while looking at Carl. Carl placed his hands together inside his sleeves. He replied slowly, "We all have families and friends. The people who manipulated me threatened their lives. I may be a saint-level cultivator, but there's nothing I could do in the face of power. Moreover, there are people more powerful than me. My abilities are very limited." "Can you tell me who manipulated your student?" asked Wilbur. Carl frowned and replied, "Lars Harriet, the Minister of Defense." Wilbur frowned. It was a powerful position in a nation. It was considered to be in the top 3 national positions. The nation was not huge, but the power he possessed was not to be underestimated. It seemed that Lars Harriet was not a good person either. Wilbur felt like he was a corrupted person in power. "Are you saying that Lars Harriet sent you too?" asked Wilbur. "That's right. You're betraying him by doing this. I wanted to escape his control since a long time ago, but I never got the chance. I see how powerful you are now, sir, and it makes me hopeful. I want to become your most faithful believer and help the church grow. We won't fear anything as long as we are powerful enough," said Carl. Wilbur smiled slightly. Carl did not believe in the Lord of Fire Dragons, but he chose to side with Wilbur because he saw how powerful Wilbur was. It seemed like he did not get along with Lars. Carl was very opinionated. Wilbur did not mind whether Carl believed him or not. It was beneficial to him if Carl was willing to side with him. Carl was a peak sanctuary level cultivator after all. He had sufficient capabilities. He felt like he should just go along with it. Wilbur was confident that he would make Carl regret it if he dared to rebel. "All right, Carl. I accept you. But you better stay faithful, otherwise the consequences will be dire," said Wilbur. Carl lowered his gaze and said, "Don't worry, sir. I will be the most loyal believer since I made my choice. I will stand by your side." Wilbur smiled slightly and looked at the baffled crowd.